welcome back to the channel. This is Bookmas Day, I don't know at this point. I'm pretty sure you just heard Captain Burp, so that's cool. So this morning I have been, well, honestly, like the past month, I have been feeling very anxious just in general, but really a lot about money, even though it's not even like I'm concerned about money right now. I'm worried about money in 2024. And I don't know really why I'm so concerned, because I know I'm going to figure it out. I think it's a lot to do with that I don't have a plan in place right now. Like ever since I sold my rental and had a really big like sales month in real estate in, I think it was September, October, I've kind of just allowed myself to relax. And the way my brain works, it's just like, it doesn't feel like I'm relaxing because I'm worried that I'm not working and I'm not being productive. So that's just how my brain works, and it's kind of just really not been working for me, especially like this last week has been really hard on me. So I think that what I need to do is just go ahead and get started on my 2024 goals. I really want to start this budget sheet that I have. I bought it off of Etsy, and it's kind of like all encompassing. Technically, I think it's geared towards couples, but that's kind of why I bought it. I think that it would really help me also to see all of Sean's finances, and not like in a controlling way. I don't want to like nitpick my stuff or his, because I think that that would get in my head even more. I think I really just want to see like an overarching view, because we do have a lot of like big life things coming up in the next couple of years. I do expect us to be married in the next couple of years. I expect us to start having kids in the next few after that. So I know this is not like book related, so I don't know how excited you guys will be about this video, but it does have to do with Somewhere in the Reads as well, because if it grows as much as I would like it to, the channel itself, that could hopefully potentially lead into some money, and some maybe a little bit of income every month, which would be incredible. That's not really why I started this channel. I just thought it would be something really fun to do, but if it could also make me money, I'm definitely not gonna say no to that. I think that would be great, especially with how much time I spend on it. But it is like a labor of love, and I go through these seasons of things, and I feel like YouTube has been really good with me being able to express myself, and that's something that I want to kind of focus on for 2024. So with all of that being said, I want to get into that spreadsheet. The first time I looked at it, I was overwhelmed, so I kind of set it to the side for another day. I want to set up my 2024 goals for personal, business. So that would be real estate, potentially Gemini Co. I do think that I'm going to get back into my crystal business. I really have not talked about that at all on this channel, but I'm sure that you will see more of that in the next couple of months. But yeah, business is going to be Gemini Co, real estate, and maybe potentially Somewhere in the Reads. We'll just kind of see where that goes. I've really been spending a lot of my time with Somewhere in the Reads because it makes me feel good, and it's been like a great kind of reprieve from my anxiety lately. So who knows what Somewhere in the Reads will be. I don't want to put too much pressure on it, because then I think that I will worry too much about it and it won't be fun anymore. So that's going to be one of my big things. The first thing that I kind of just want to do is get all of my thoughts out and written out. That way I can just kind of see it, and then we'll go from there. We'll just see how I'm feeling. So I'm going to get out my iPad, write some things down, and then move on. honestly, now that I'm looking at what I just wrote, I really don't think that it's about my finances, honestly. Like, I think it's my mindset. And I feel like in previous years, I've really focused on like manifesting, and like a more positive outlook. And I feel like in 2023, I just kind of like let that go instead, of really focusing on like self-improvement. I kind of just was, well, not like in a bad thing, but I feel like I really just focused on reading a bunch of other things, like a lot of fantasy, a lot of romances. And I really didn't prioritize like self-improvement like I have in the past few years. And I don't think that that was really a conscious switch. I think it just kind of happened that way. I just think that that makes sense for how I'm feeling. So with that in mind, I think that that kind of changes things. I do obviously still want to do like the budget and everything, but I think a lot of my goals are going to be around like mindset, self-improvement and things like that, because I honestly think that 2024 really just needs to be like finding myself and figuring out who I am and what I want to do. Anyway, that is all to say, I think that knowing what, like looking back at what I've just written down, I think that that gives me a better idea of what I need to focus on for 2024 and how that's going to look. So I used to do this thing with my friend where when we would write down our like New Year goals, it was broken down, I think it was like into 7 different categories, but was it 7? And I think she got it from some sort of book or something. I'm going to use that to kind of define my goals more and then create some action steps. And I want to put all of that inside of my Notion dashboard. That way I have it all in one place. And Notion has really been like a big part of my planning lately. And I really like how I can incorporate basically every element of my life inside of it. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up, get some actionable steps going, and then we'll chat about it, I think. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. I don't know that I'm gonna get to the budget today. I kind of want to wait to do that with Sean. So I couldn't find the categories that I was talking about that I used to do with my friend. I could just text her. I just don't feel like it. I did find 6 sort of different categories that I felt like were more aligned with what I was looking for anyway. So I'll kind of run through these and we can talk about the goals that I put within each. So as far as career goals, I kind of broke it out in between the 3 potentially businesses and like some more general goals. So the general goals applies to everything across the board for business and career. One of those is keeping track of expenses on a bi-weekly basis at least. I have been terrible with keeping track of expenses. I don't know what it is. I always set the goal for myself to do it like on a weekly basis. So I don't know if that's just like too much and then I just don't end up doing it at all, or what, but I would really like to stick to some sort of routine with that. And I think that on a bi-weekly basis would be really attainable. I just have to do it. The next generic kind of goal is to learn more about my taxes and how to stay ahead of them. I feel like every year I'm always really stressed out about taxes because I just haven't educated myself enough about taxes, and it just is really confusing to me. And I feel like if I just like sat down and took the time to learn more about it, I wouldn't feel as anxious every year. The next one is budgeting appropriately. This goes with the same thing with the expenses and keeping track. If I do that, then I should be able to budget correctly. The next one that applies to all of those is to maintain a healthy, aligned schedule that makes me feel motivated, inspired, and secure. I feel like I tend to like pay attention to one thing at a time, and whenever you have multiple things going on, that doesn't really work out just with the way that I've been doing it. I don't know if that means like I need to time block or put aside days, like whole days of the week for specific businesses or projects or whatever. But I just need to figure out some sort of new, different schedule because I just have been feeling very unmotivated, uninspired lately. And I feel like if I have a dependable, why am I saying that weird? If I have a dependable routine, then I feel like I'll be more likely to stick to it and stick to what I need to accomplish. Now, as far as like goals individually, these are actually, I don't know how much I'm going to share about these. I tend to keep my like specifically business goals to myself every year. I will say we can talk more about Somewhere in the Reads than my other two businesses, Real Estate and Gemini Co. So I think that's what we'll do. So for Somewhere in the Reads, my goals are to reach 500 YouTube subscribers. Right now I am at 19. Which I actually am pretty proud of. I really like that I've been able to accomplish that so far. And I know with YouTube, it's kind of like a snowball effect. Like once you get that consistency down, it rewards you in the end. So I feel pretty good about that goal. The same thing with, I want to reach 5,000 TikTok followers. I really think that this should be easy for me to do if I stay consistent on the platform. So that's the key here, is being consistent. Next one for Instagram, I really would like to reach 1,000 followers. Instagram and I have been butting heads. I don't know what it is, but I want to figure that out for 2024 as well. I have more goals on this list, but I kind of want to keep them to myself until those are accomplished, and then we can chat about them later on in the year. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep those to myself for now. The next category is financial. So this kind of covers debt, savings, and income. A lot of this has to do with what I talked about earlier and finding out like what I need to do in order to make myself feel in a good position financially. And it's more so just like making sure I am going through all the steps that I possibly can to set myself up for later on. The thing with my job, being a real estate agent full-time, is that none of my income is set. Like I don't have a paycheck. It really just depends on how the market is doing and how much I put myself out there and I'm able to get clients. If there's no clients that need help, then there's nothing literally that I can do. Like I can't just pull up a client out of thin air. Yeah, so it's hard to depend on an income that I'm just not sure, I can't guarantee is going to be there. And that just means that I am really hustling, but doing it in a mindful way that makes sense for me. So as far as debt goes, I want to pay down our Wells Fargo card that we put the HVAC system on whenever we had to replace it completely, which was $9,000. So we're still paying down on that, but I'm not super worried about it. I just would like to make a dent in it because right now it has no interest on that card, which I don't know how we scored that, but that was the installment plan that we picked. And I just would like to, like I said, make a little dent in it. The next thing is to make some small extra payments every month towards our mortgage. because overall, after a few years, like that really does make a huge difference. And right now, I have them automatically coming out of my checking account. So right now, I believe it's like $25 extra. If I can do more this year, I would like to, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on that because I feel like the $25 is great for now. The next goal as far as finances is keeping credit card usage to 20% or less throughout the entire year. There could be some things that come up with the house that we do have to put it on the credit card, but we are really good on our credit cards right now with our usage. I do expect that I think that we should be good on that one. Savings, we have to be putting away money for this potential future wedding. Once we are engaged, he's like, I just know that you're gonna want to plan a wedding like within a year, which is true. But it has to make sense financially for us to throw a wedding. Yeah, so that's going to be quite a bit to save up for throughout next year and the following year. The next savings goal is I would like to beef up my emergency fund and put away some money every month for potential home repairs because I know something is going to happen for this home. We have really tackled like the main biggest issues this year. So it shouldn't be anything crazy next year, but also I just like to be prepared. The next things we've kind of talked about with income, so I'm not going to go over that again. Personal development is the next category. And I really, like I mentioned earlier, I really just think if I focus more on personal development in 2024, that will completely shift my mindset and how anxious I've been feeling. It might not like fix everything, but I really do believe that was why I had such a tough time this year. Some of the goals that I've put down for personal development is reading one personal development book per month, focusing on that, journaling 3 times per week or more if I feel like it, and then putting aside time every month that is specifically to realign myself with goals, plans, and just kind of do like an overall check-in on my mental health. I do kind of loop together personal development, mindset, mental health. So that's kind of that. The next category is hobby, leisure, relaxing type of goals. I have this habit of like trying out new hobbies, and then feeling like I have to turn that into a business or something if it goes well. And then it's not a hobby anymore. So I really would like to keep hobbies and things that make me happy and not feel so pressured whenever I feel like I have to turn them into a business. It just really makes no sense. I want to relax when I have these hobbies and I want them to stay hobbies. That's basically the goal for 2024. And I really want to get back into yoga. That one's a big one. Health goals is the next category. These are more so, I didn't really put goals on here. It was more so like things I want to keep in mind every day. So slow down, breathe. I don't have to cut out the bad stuff. I just need to like reintroduce healthy things. So fruits, oats, like changing my diet, but not in a negative way and feeling like I have to take out the good things. It's more so just like introducing healthy alternatives. Prepping more meals, that way I don't kind of resort to the junky meals because I don't feel like cooking. I feel like if I were to prep more, that wouldn't be an issue as much. And again, like this is kind of where yoga comes back in. I really want to get back into that. Some step goals on my Apple Watch, stuff like that. And then relationship goals is the last category. I'm not going to go into those because that's pretty personal. But you guys kind of know what I'm hoping for next year, but we'll see. So those are the goals. I feel like I feel much better now than I did at the start of this video. No, this was definitely not like book focused, but we did hit on like the channel and where I'm hoping that Somewhere in the Reads kind of goes in 2024. So I hope you guys like this video. With Bookmas, I felt like it would be really interesting to see like a sort of different view. Do you hear that snoring right now? That is Jameson. He's laying underneath this desk and snoring so loud like an old man. Yeah, so that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your 2024 goals are in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.